What's up, everybody? It's your boy H1, and this is the 4-element breakdown of the Zodiac, basically, right? So I figured, why would I do a video about the 4 elements and not do it outside, right? And in New York City, it's decent weather today, so I said, fuck it, let me get outside and get in the outdoors, right? So let's go. The winner of the people who did vote on what element they like the most on Instagram, the winner is the air signs. So happy birthday to the Aquarius, of course. Shout out to the Libras and shout out to the Gemini, excuse me. So first and foremost, let's talk about the air sign. What does that mean? What does the air element mean? Air is basically intellect. It is conversation. It is socialization. It is being social. It is just anything that has to do with connecting amongst people and breaking things down on a learning tip, right? Air signs like to communicate on higher intellectual conversations. They like to research about the occult. They like to know about everything from top to bottom, right? So how is the air sign different from all the other elements? It's very simple. You could tell an air sign because they like conversation. They like to talk. They like to basically build their intellect. So now, even if you're not an air sign, mainly like a sun sign, for example, if you have it in your moon, for example, you might be curious in learning more about something. If you have it in your Mars, like an air sign in your Mars, for example, let's break it down, right? So if your moon sign was a Gemini, for example, right, that means that you love quick thoughts. You moving all over the place. You love to learn new things, right? You can't stay on one subject for a while. It's boring. Boring conversation is whack. Not having fun, like childlike energies, that's whack. You're not messing with that, right? So if you had your Mars in the air sign, like just to say you had Mars in Libra, right? You will calculate your action. Your next move is going to be calculated all the time. And you have to think about 1,000,001 different thoughts before you make your move. So procrastination is probably a big thing for you at times. And it's not because you're not confident in yourself. It's just more that you don't necessarily want to just rush to judgment or make a move that doesn't suit you, right? So the air element is basically about growing yourself and building on what you have, right? So if you have any air in your chart, definitely start to quench that thirst for knowledge and communication. Peace. What's up, fire signs? You already know. If you have the fire element in you, I'm talking to my Sagittarius, my Leos, and my Aries, right? So let's talk about the fire energy. Fire energy is burning, right? Like the Sean Paul song, "We Be Burning," it's active. So fire signs love to get out and be outside. They like traveling, they like exercising, they like having fun, right? They cannot stay in boring situations. The difference between them and air signs, for example, is air signs are really sit in the intellect, right? They love to learn. They'll sit, they'll study, they like learning new things, right? Fire signs love new activity. Where the party at, basically, right? Where is the action? Where is the energy at? So if you're a fire sign, make sure you get a lot of outdoor activity. You get a lot of physical activity, whatever physical activity that is. You know what I'm saying? Use your mind, use wherever you want to go. Another thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you are living a fulfilling life. If you're a fire sign, you're gonna hate to just live a mundane, regular life, right? That's cool for certain signs. Like say you're an earth sign. I'm not saying this in particular fashion because everybody's natal chart is a little different. But let's just say a sun sign, Virgo, for example, might like a quiet life at home, right? Fire? Nah. They want to go outside and have some fun. What's up with the nightlife? What's up with the restaurants? What's up with the nice clothes? What's up with the nice hot spot, right? When you're a fire sign, you're constantly burning and you want to entertain yourself. So let's talk about it in the natal sense, right? If it's in your moon sign, for example, if you have a fire sign in your moon sign, let's just say you have a Leo moon, right? You might be quiet as hell because you're a sun sign Cancer and you like to stay home, right? But deep down inside, you're trying to make your home popping. You're not playing around. You're trying to make it the fun spot that everybody in the family loves to come to. If it's in your Mars, for example, you want action. You want some physical activity. So like boxing, you might be a wrestler. You might get into a lot of fights throughout your life. Why? Because people want to test you. And just like a lighter or a stove, you light it up quick, right? Like the Drake song, light up, right? That's you. So for example, if it's in your Venus, the love that you want can't be a boring type of person. It needs to be fun, active, like something, right? So let's sum it up. Fire is about activity and energy. And to put that in perspective, you need constant activity and motivation to keep you stimulated. If not, you're gonna live a boring and unfulfilled life. I'm your boy H1, and that was the fire break. What's up, water? You know the vibe. If I'm talking about the water element, we talking about Pisces, we talking about them Cancers, and we are definitely talking about them Scorpios, right? Those are all the water elements right there. So if you a water sign, you dealing with emotions. Now, water signs always get a bad rap for some reason and talking about y'all super emotional. In fact, they some of the hardest people out there. Yeah, they show their emotions, but it's not always on their sleeve. They just put their first foot forward with their heart, right? Whereas a air sign will go forth with their intellect first. A fire sign will move with their action first, right? Water, they don't play that. Their emotions leads them. So for a long time, for example, a lot of people think your brain controls your heart, when in fact now science is finally revealing what we already knew a long time ago. Ancient sciences knew that your heart sends more communications to your brain. So that's what water signs fuel off of: emotions, energy, right? They can step inside a room and feel the energy. Why? Because they're well in tune with their energy. So what does water signs really need? What does water signs really need? A lot of emotional stability. They need emotional comfort. They need emotional stimulation, right? So arts would be good for them. Music is good for them. Being around water is good for them. Hugs is good for them, right? So if you're a water sign, make sure that you are definitely nourishing your soul first. Your body second. Your soul has to come first, because if a water sign isn't happy, it's going to be very miserable for everyone around them, because they want to show love in their own fashion. So I'll give you an example. If you're a Cancer moon, for example, you want to make sure everybody in your surrounding is cool. Why? Because you see everybody like family, right? Let's just say you have Scorpio in your Mars, for example, right? Your actions are very calculated, and you're the type of person that could be a good strategist, right? You could come into the room and move it like a chessboard, right? Let's just say you have Pisces in your Venus, right? You show love through affection. That means warm gifts, warm kisses, making treats. That's how you show your love. You have to make sure that you are giving it, right? So that's what the water sign is about: filling the void of emotions for whoever's in their life and trying to fill the void of emotions in their life. So let's sum it up. What is water all about? Emotion, instincts, energy, compassion, and feelings. I'm your boy H1. Hope you enjoyed. What up, Earth signs? Earth signs. I had to say it twice because you got me shaking, because I'm out here in Mother Earth, right? Here we go now. Capricorns, Virgos, and the Taurus, right? We're talking about Earth signs. So what is the Earth signs energy? Stability, focus, drive, foundation, legacy. So when you're talking about the Earth signs, you got to make sure that you're making your steps right, because Earth signs are not playing around. They're not here for the shaky stuff. They're not here for the flaky stuff. They're not here for the cap. Even though, of course, they're not angels, they could lie as well. What I'm trying to sum up is the fact that they make their steps precautious. So think about it like this. Let's talk natal, right? If you are a Virgo moon, for example, like myself, you are a detail freak. You will research from top to bottom. You're not just going to take the information that someone says to you. You got to go out there and research it for yourself. Let's just say you are a Mars in Capricorn. You are the type of person that is not going to follow the crowd. You're not for the fast cash. You could make it, but you're talking about longevity here. All your steps have to be research, sure, and proven, right? What if you're a Taurus in Mars? How does it rock with you? You just like that bull. It takes you a long time to get your actions in play, but once you do and you pick up that steam, get out the way, because you come in with full steam ahead, full motion, full vibes, and the emotion behind it. So what am I talking about with the Earth signs in general? They are here for structure. They are here to last. You know, our steel don't really bend like that. You gotta melt that, you gotta mold it. That's exactly how Earth signs are. They are built to be stable and move in an efficient manner. Why? Because they can hold it up. You ever look at a Virgo, for example? They got broad shoulders, right? You look at the Taurus, they got sturdy hips, right? Or big muscles. They're usually muscular, right? You look at the Capricorn, they got that structured, chiseled energy, right? LeBron James, Denzel Washington, goes on and on, right? So let's sum up what I'm talking about real quick. What the Earth signs are about: stability, smart steps, foundation, and moving forward. So if you have that Earth element in your chart, just understand that you're about the structure. You're not with the sloppy stuff. I'm your boy H1. Hope you like this quick little breakdown. Peace. All right. So I just broke down each element, and if you didn't understand it, let me give you the quick little wrap up of what I'm trying to say. The elements in your charts play out in how you become effective, right? So I'll give you an example. I live in New York City, right? I'm going to touch the 5 boroughs, for example, but I'm only going to use 4 boroughs real quick to talk about my interpretation of the elements. So for me, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, right? So what I realize is, for me, the element of fire represents Brooklyn. Why? Because it's always active. They always outside. They always moving around. It's one of the most popular boroughs in the world. Forget just New York City, right? They have different cultures there. The fashion is there. The gang activity is there. The parties is there. It's always live in Brooklyn. That's why now the restaurants is shifting over there, right? That's how everything is moving. Just like fire, it's constantly moving. You got your buildings, you got your private houses. Everything is moving like that, right? So Brooklyn is active. So Brooklyn represents the fire sign, right? Let's talk about Queens, for example. Queens is definitely a water sign. Why? They got the residential areas. They get fly. You know what I'm saying? They about the money, like my mans always say. Queens get the money, right? So they're about making things solid for what? Their situation, their emotions, moving in luxury, right? They move in a calculated manner that is good for their emotions and good for the people around them, right? So Queens is definitely a water sign because they could step inside a room and feel it out, right? Look at 50 Cent, Cancer from Queens, full of passion, full of energy, and he let you know where he from, Southside, what? You feel me? They ain't hiding their emotions with that, right? So I think Queens is definitely represented by the water element because they're full of emotions and they're about that. I know a lot of people could have their own opinion, but I'm open for a debate. Next up, we talking about Manhattan, right? Or Harlem, a part in Manhattan, or the city, however you want to call it, right? That is definitely their air sign. Why it's an air sign or air element? Because that's where people connect. It's a city that never sleeps. It's constantly moving, constantly thinking. You come here, that's the melting pot for real. You go out there, you could have, you know, fine dining, fine clubs, big cars, busy traffic, big business. That's where we keep all the holidays and stuff like that. You got your Times Square, you got, you know, different places that you could go. You got your Central Park. It's the hub. You feel me? It's there for connectivity, and that's what air is all about. The air element is all about connecting things and making things come together and communicate, right? And build your knowledge. When you go to the city, you know where you at. It's way different than any other borough because it's always moving, it's always cooking. So that's my interpretation of the air element by Manhattan. And if you ever been to New York City, you know Manhattan is not like any other borough, for real. No bias. Next up, we are going to touch the earth sign. Right? Now, I know Staten Island and Long Island exist, but for this interpretation of the 4 elements, I'm going to just talk about the Bronx. This is why the Bronx is the earth element. They don't play around. When you go to the Bronx, you know it's sturdy out there. You got your drug dealers, you got your civil people, you got your rich people, you got your hood cats, you got your the middle class cats, right? You got your projects, you got your homes, you got your hills. It's rough in the Bronx, right? But it's also good living. Everybody that talks about the Bronx, what's up, my brother?
That sounds interesting.
Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that, man. Enjoy your jog. All right, my friend. Yeah, you feel me? Like that's what the earth sign is all about. Stability and moving in the function of being down for it. That's why they call it the boogie down Bronx, baby. How you gonna boogie down in a place that's moving like water? You ain't on a boat. How you gonna boogie down in fire? It get hot. How you gonna boogie down in air because you all over the place thinking about shit? No, the Bronx make these steps wise, and you can't play around with those people because they done seen it all. They done been through it all, and they like to make sure that their next step is good, right? So that's the 4 elements that I broke down for some of the boroughs in my city, right? Just as a bonus, we're going to talk about Staten Island. We're going to talk about Long Island, right? We could call that the asteroids or the other planets in the solar system, but that's another lecture, right? So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm your boy H1, and this is the 4 element breakdown of the Zodiac. I had fun. I hope y'all outside enjoying this nice weather we got in New York City. Wherever you at tuning in, thank you for the support. Thank you for voting on IG. Catch me on TikTok and all social platforms. You already know how we do it. Kiss the energy. I'm your boy. I'm out of here. Peace.